Will the Browns win? What's the score?
Okay, remember, the Raiders are favored to win this game, believe it or not.
They are?
By 3.5 points. Yeah.
No.
This is coming from an ex-Raider. He played for the Raiders.
No, not happening.
I'm going to say this again. Shedeur Sanders was born and raised for this moment. This will be his moment. He will seize this opportunity the best he can seize it under the circumstances, and they've been much better this week because obviously for the first time he got practice reps with the ones, with the starters. And for the first time, he'll get to operate a game plan that will be tailored to what he is most comfortable running. Yep. Where I hope Tommy Rees is going to him saying, "Do you like this, or what? Right. Tell me what you like."
I'm going to tell you exactly what I hope they do in a second. I watched a lot of Shedeur last night.
Cool. You're
Hey, I went back to college. Cool.
Incredible, Cody.
Hey.
You're going to see from Shedeur poise and command. You will see no fear. You'll see no flinch. You'll see no nervous feet. You'll see body language that will be contagious for everybody on that football team. That defense will rise and shine. I believe that Myles Garrett will have 3 more sacks on Geno. That may be 4.
Yeah, I'll give him 5.
But I'm being conservative with 3. And the Cleveland Browns will win this game. I'm going to call it 27-13 Cleveland.
Wow.
And I got Shedeur playing very solid quarterback football, where you look at it and say, that was a football game. I got 23 of 33 for 235, 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say 1 interception just because this is his first NFL start. And I believe he'll run for another 50 yards because I think his mobility is being very underestimated. And I think Judkins will run for 120-ish, and that they'll feature that and lean on that pretty hard. 27-13, Shedeur's team.
Wow. That's a big day. I mean, he pulls all that off. I mean, he's the truth. Yeah. I think it's a great matchup coming against the Raiders. The Raiders are absolutely terrible. They look bad. The defense is bad. The offense is bad. Geno's bad. So for Shedeur to be cast into the spotlight, to get a week of reps is huge for him. Yeah. I'm really excited about this kid and what he can show. I think, it's probably going to be a conservative game plan. Hand the ball to Judkins. Let him feast on that defense. Get the run game going so that they can get the play action game going. And where he's really good is ball placement. He's really good about placing the ball.
He is.
He's really good about, moving enough around in the pocket to give himself space to make a throw down the field. I just want to see him no hero ball, no Superman, no S on your chest. I like him to go for around 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. Got to limit the turnovers. That's going to be the one thing against him. If he throws a turnover, everybody's going to be like, up there. That we saw it. We were telling you about it. But I like him. I like him having a solid day. I like Judkins having a great day. That defense is going to feast all over that offensive line. And Geno, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I got Cleveland 17, Raiders 10.
Okay.
That would be ideal. Limit him to under 25 passes and run the ball, give Judkins the ball 25. That would be ideal, but we know the Browns don't do ideal. They're going to come out like they've been, throwing it 35-plus times, and I don't think that puts them in the best situation to be successful. Like, you have to bring him in slowly, methodically, no matter how much aura he has, no matter how his skill set is. We know he's a baller, but you have to make the offense favorable. And the Browns haven't done that all year. They got in the game against Pittsburgh and threw it 52 times with Dylan Gabriel. Yeah. Like, you're putting your rookie quarterbacks in these type of failing situations. And I just hope they don't do that with Shedeur. Ideally, I hope he goes 16 for 23 for about 220 or something, right? Okay. A passing touchdown, let Judkins get 2 touchdowns rushing the ball. I say 24-12 versus the Raiders. That would be my score. But I think they're going to throw him in there. They're going to throw it 35 times, right? So he may be 20 for 35. He may be, but the Raiders' defense is awful. So let's just put it, and their offensive line is awful. Let's put it on our defense, ideally.
And that defense is nasty. They are good.
Yeah,
they fly around. They make plays. You got Myles Garrett. He's a stud.
And that's why I really like the Browns in this game, is because of that defense, and even when you look at the Raiders' offense right now, I mean, Geno Smith has been struggling. He leads the league in interceptions, tied with Tua.
Tua.
I like Ashton Genty. I'm big on him. I think he's going to be a good player in the future. He
They don't use him.
He's had no chance.
They don't
Richie.
use him.
He has
They
no
don't use
chance.
him.
He's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage more so than anybody else in the NFL
100%.
right now. And he's also third in forced missed tackles, so he creates a little bit for himself, but they can't get anything going. Chip Kelly, to me, has just been one of the biggest disappointments when it comes to coaches in the NFL. He's a great college coach, but just for some reason it hasn't transitioned to the NFL as a play caller. And when you don't have continuity and you don't have consistency and you don't have an identity on offense because your play caller hasn't found one yet, it's tough to get anything going. The offensive line is struggling, and now you got Myles Garrett coming to town ready to go for maybe 5 sacks like Richie said. But obviously everyone's going to be focused on the other side of the ball, and that is Shedeur Sanders making his first start in the NFL. I'm excited. We're going to see a couple things. I anticipate to see him make some rookie mistakes early on. He's going to have some growing pains. It's inevitable. It happens to every quarterback that plays in the league. But I'm with you, Skip. The one thing you will see is a kid that's fearless. He's not going to be out there wide-eyed and worried about making a mistake. He's going to be confident. He's going to be calm, cool, and collected in the pocket. And it's just going to come down to, can he execute the game plan? Talking about the game plan, I would love for them to get Judkins going. Get the run game going.
Get him going.
Nothing is more important for a rookie quarterback or a backup quarterback or a guy that's making his first start than a run game in your defense. If you can run the football well, you take all of that pressure off of the quarterback to try to put drives together. And they've done a good job getting Judkins going as of late, but I expect them to get him going early on. Even some swing routes. It doesn't have to be a straight handoff. Get some extended handoffs, as we call them, a swing route, a screen, a quick little pitch to him. Get a wide receiver motion and get a little soft toss so you get a completion, and then you can pick up some yards, get him into the flow of the game. Other thing I expect to see is some quick game. Get the ball out of his hands. He's extremely accurate around the line of scrimmage.
He is.
Some people say, dink and dunk. To me, no, that's efficiency. That's throwing a hitch, throwing a slant. At least in the first quarter, first half, get some of those things going early on, build confidence. That also is going to frustrate Max Crosby. If you start getting the ball out quick, he's not going to be able to get home. But when it comes to what I want to see Tommy Rees do for Shedeur Sanders, they got to work towards his strengths. And one of his biggest strengths is pushing the ball down the field. Last year in college, he was 29 of 44 with shots down the field. That's 66%. That is extremely difficult to do when you're taking those shots down the field. He's one of the most accurate passers in college last year at taking shots down the field. The other thing I would love to see him do is target the sideline. He's so accurate outside the numbers when he's working to the boundary. 75% completion percentage when he's targeting the sideline. Get some one-on-ones on the backside. Get some hitches, some comebacks, some out routes, some stop routes, some timing now routes. Get those things, work the sideline, and then attack the middle of the field when you start getting some cover two and they have to cloud the boundary. And then the other thing, move him out of the pocket. Don't let him sit back there and go 3-step, 5-step, 7-step all game long. Keep him in the same spot and let Max Crosby pin his ears back and get after him. Get him outside of the pocket, get him on the move, let him roll out. With all that being said, though, I think he's going to have a good day. I think it's going to be around 68% completion percentage. He's extremely accurate. I'm with you guys. I think right around 230. I'm going to give him one passing touchdown. I think Judkins has one or two more on the ground. I think they end up winning 23-17 in this game.
Really? Okay. Any picks? Maybe one?
I don't think he's going to. No, I don't. I think he might, if he does, it's because he's being aggressive. I think they're going to maybe take some shots down the field, and there could be an interception here and there. But I think his game is be efficient, protect the football, don't put the ball in harm's way, and just take those shots when they are available. High risk, low reward type plays until you get your shots down the field. And I think he's going to protect the football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cleveland should call you up because that's
I'm going to say, hey,
I know.
you need to go call the play.
I'm telling you, I know you guys laugh, man, but I last night I was watching cut-ups of Shedeur from college. And
really?
What does he do well? Attacks middle field well, but where he really excels, outside throws, working the sideline. 29 of 44 taking shots down the field. That's extremely impressive. I'll take a 50-50 down the field completion percentage. 66% taking shots. That's impressive. He threw the ball 477 times last year, Skip, and still had a 74% completion percentage.
He led the,
that is
didn't it lead
unheard
the
of.
nation.
That's unheard of.
Those shots, come off of play action. This is NFL a little bit different than college. So
It is.
we have to get to the running game. We see Caleb Williams mature this season. Why? Because they become the best running game in the NFL.
Yeah.
And if
Their
you want
offensive
them
line's
shots
better.
down, as well. If you want them shots downfield, you have to at least give the illusion. You don't even have to be successful all the time. But just say, they may run.
Yeah.
They may. Just keep the defense guessing. And then, like you say, you slow Crosby down because he can't stop the run. Well, opposed to what Lee said. He definitely can't stop the run.
Lee got some hot water.
Yeah. So, yeah, just keep them guessing. Slow that pass rush down, because the last thing you want them to do is have Crosby pinning his ears back knowing it's a pass.
And when you do take those shots, though, it can't be 5-man pass pro. It can't even be 6-man. You might have to leave a tight end in.
Oh, for sure.
You might have to go 12 personnel, get 2 tight ends in, let them block on the outside, give him time, make sure you have 2 guys on Crosby, because you can't just go 5-man pass pro and try to run scissors and throw a deep post every time. You're going to be it's going to be tough for you to step into those throws. The other thing, too, I want to see in this game, get him some mirrored route concepts. Don't have him sitting back there going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going full field progression and sitting in the pocket for 3 or 4 seconds. Get some hook flats. Get some sticks and some hitches on the outside so that he's picking a side. When I say mirror route concepts, I mean 2x2, same thing on either side. Work away from safety rotation, or if it's man-to-man, picks-backs matchup, I go 1 to 2 to back to run, throw away. Keep it simple early on. Then if you want to get more creative and take some shots down the field, just let him get comfortable in the game plan first.
Okay, let me go one other direction with Sheduer. I know his father well, know a lot about this young man. He is his own young man. He follows a different beat than a lot of quarterbacks have followed. And he does impulsively what he believes at the moment is correct. So at the end of last week's game, in which he got thrown into the fire in the second half, he had a last-ditch drive that we broke down, as you know, and threw one great ball to an undrafted free agent that I thought should have been caught for a touchdown that would have changed the whole narrative about him, because the numbers were awful, obviously, 4 of 16. But when the game ended, Shedeur sat on the bench and would not get up, dropped his head, and he was furious with himself and with the outcome of the game, as he so eloquently stated in the locker room to the media after the game. But he did not get up and shake anybody's hand. So the great Doug Williams, do you guys remember the great Doug, first black quarterback, obviously, to win a Super Bowl, a man I know very well, was asked by ESPN to comment on that behavior. And this is what Doug Williams told ESPN. The game is over, go shake the guy's hand, and he meant Lamar's hand. Just go shake Lamar's hand. You can go sulk back in the locker room. People will say, well, that's a little thing. Okay, but when you play quarterback in this league, everything is watched. With this kid, under a microscope, it will be watched and dissected and criticized. So I'm curious what you guys think. Was that breaking the unwritten rule? Should he have gotten up as a kid quarterback, a rookie quarterback, and just gone and shaken some hands or whatever? It's just the expected sportsmanship. I don't know if you guys believe in it.
I mean, I honestly don't care. I think he's a young kid. He was thrown into a hard spot. And the thing about playing this game is this game constantly humbles you. Constantly reminding you that, hey, if you slow down a step, this game's going to pass you by, right? And I think these kids are wired a little different. Back when Doug Williams was playing, it was about honor, respect, sports, sportsmanship.
So we've lost all that.
No, we haven't.
Somewhat, I think.
Yeah, I think somewhat. We haven't lost it totally, but these kids are wired different. They think different. They're wired different.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
And I think, him sitting there just kind of taking it all in, I think it's a great learning opportunity. Yeah. I think it's a great learning opportunity for him just to sit there and be like, I had envisioned this going a completely different way. This was a shit show. Now, okay, it's my time to start. Let me get the starter reps all week. Let me learn the offense. Okay. Let me work with the offensive coordinator. Let me show you what I can do, what I like. And, shaking hands after the game. There were many games that I lost, and I just took off. I left my friends on the field, shaking hands, this or that. But, as a competitor, when you lose like that, fuck it. I'm going to the locker room. I don't want to talk to anyone.
All due respect, you're not the leader of it's the quarterback position, right? You're looked at as the representation, right?
Yeah.
You have to go shake your Lamar's hand.
You just do.
You just have to.
Yeah, I agree.
It's nothing to really harp on him too much about. He's a young kid. He'll learn.
Understand.
He's so poised in his interviews and giving acknowledgement to other players and respect to other players. So we knew it wasn't in a malicious manner. He was more disappointed in his performance. I get it. We've all been there. But in that same time, being an adult, now you have to look at yourself. You are the starting quarterback, and you represent the Browns as a starting quarterback. You represent the NFL. You represent everything that position means. So go show Lamar some respect. shake his hand. You ain't got to shake everybody's hand.
Right.
No.
But show Lamar MVP,
Right.
that guy, some respect, shake his hand. And not saying he was disrespectful,
Yeah.
but just shake his hand, go back.
I think the thought process and how these kids think different. Like Shedeur came in, I'm the backup. I'm the backup. I'm not the guy, right? I'm the backup, right?
I don't think he ever thinks like that, though.
But you throw him into the wolves, you throw him into the fire, and he's like, holy shit, man, what did I just get myself into, right? So you got to take a second over there to think about it. Now, after the fact, I bet you he said, I wish I would have went and shake Lamar's hand.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm not reading too much into that.
Yeah, nah, but yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with TJ 100%. Should he have done it? Sure, but the intent behind it matters too. He didn't do it in a disrespectful way where he was like, I agree. I think he's sitting there in that moment thinking, what just happened? You know, I've been anticipating this moment for so long, getting an opportunity in the NFL. It just happened. Did it go how I wanted it to? No. But at the same time, being a competitor, he's sitting there probably trying to figure out what I can fix and take this moment in and remember this feeling because I don't want to feel this again.
Exactly.
I want to do it right next time. And that's why I always said, you know, some people gave me a hard time saying I don't mind him being number 3 instead of number 2 because you don't want that to be your first opportunity because first impressions matter, no matter how we want to shape it and say it and word it and all these different things. And especially it matters to him. He wants to go out there and prove that he can be the guy, which I know he can be, but to go out there and have that performance and not put your best foot forward because of the difficult situation you're in, that's just a competitor to him on the sideline saying, I know I'm better than what just happened.
As you well know, the post-game camera lingers on the coach congratulating the other coach and the quarterback
Always.
hugging the other quarterback,
Yeah.
right?
Always.
Right.
It's just, it's how the quote-unquote game is played off the field.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'll wrap this up with one other point that might or might not motivate Sheduer. He was very close with Tom Brady, especially through his high school and college days. Tom served as a mentor of his, texting mentor, sometimes hands-on their mentor. And all I know is I think Tom has serious input into what the Raiders do.
Yes.
And the Raiders passed on Sheduer 7 times before Cleveland took him. And you can't tell me that Tom wasn't asked his opinion of Shedeur Sanders and almost certainly said no because he probably doesn't love the way Shedeur handles some things, such as a couple of interviews he did at the Combine with a couple of teams that Shedeur just didn't want to play for, and he's just honest to a fault. He's painfully honest, and he told 2 teams, I'm sorry, I'm wasting my time here because I don't want to play for you. I'm better than you are. I'm going to go higher than where you pick. And obviously, that word got out, and that had a lot to do with him falling to the 5th round. So if I'm Shedeur, I'm thinking Brady is a significant owner and almost operator over here with these Raiders. So I'm going to take this to heart. I'm going to be a little more motivated to stick it to this team because I'm going to show Tom what he's missing. That's just me.
No, I think that's a great motivating factor
Yeah.
because Tom did have a close connection with him, and he is calling the shots. The Raiders are idiots, and they went with Geno Smith, and so they had their starter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is a great matchup against him. Stick it to Tom, stick it to the Raiders, and then the Raiders team is just in shambles. So
I'll say this: if I'm Shedeur, I'm thinking that about all the other 31
Okay,
teams that
well, you
passed
can
me
do it.
multiple
Yeah,
times
every
too. I'm
team.
taking that mindset as he should into every single damn
But this
game
is
I
a little
play.
personal.
Do you think that though, Skip? I have a tough time. You know, obviously we're not going to know what's happening behind closed doors. But you have John Spytek in there for the first time. You have Pete Carroll, who's a legend in the coaching area. Just you think they came in and said, "All right, Tom, you have a lot of control over who we draft." I find it hard to believe that relationship that he's had with Shedeur, he's going to sit there and say, "I don't want him."
He was quoted before the draft as saying, "We'd be fools not to get his opinion on what we're doing in this draft."
right, he has major input there. I mean,
Yeah.
he is. Mr. Davis is 1. He's 1A.
Yeah.
He's calling a lot of shots there, and the close personal relationship he has with Shedeur, they could have saved him. He went in the 5th round. They obviously need some help at quarterback because our backup's Aiden O'Connell, and we've seen
That's why. What if Shedeur were your backup right now as the heir apparent?
They would be calling. I mean, they would be calling for Shedeur to play right now.
Yeah.
We don't have anybody else, so it's Geno.
Yeah, and I don't disagree that I think the Raiders should have taken him. I didn't think they should have taken him at 6.
Okay, but
after that, I on record pre-draft on some of the shows I did said I think Raiders would be a perfect landing spot for Shedeur if they draft him in the draft or he somehow falls out of the 1st round. And I was disappointed. My question was just, do you really think that was Tom Brady saying don't take him?
Okay, remember the previous Monday night game, he's up in the booth.
He's
with
got the headset on. Yeah.
But you got Pete Carroll, you got Spytek, you got
Yeah,
Davis,
you
you
got
got other
big
people in
names.
there. It's just
Yeah, but Brady's calling the shots. I mean, Brady.
think so?
I know so. Brady is.
Wow.
Brady is running the show, and I know that Mr. Davis is running a lot of stuff by him. He has a close personal relationship with Spytek. Goes back to Michigan.
Yeah.
They won a
Does.
Super Bowl together in
interesting.
Tampa.
They did. Yep.
So I do think that there is
Bingo.
some credence to Tom passing on him several times, because they could have wasted a fourth, or they could have spent a fourth, and they could have spent a fifth. I mean, you look at the Raiders draft class right now. Besides Ashton Genty, none of them are playing. We have one receiver who played, Jack Besh, who plays a little bit.
He plays a little bit.
He plays a little
TCU
bit.
kid,
Yeah.
We have 2 third-round offensive linemen that have played 1 snap this season, and look how bad that offensive line is. So I mean, it goes back to Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly's offense is not translating to the NFL. It is a complete mess. We have a workhorse in Ashton Genty. Need to feed him the ball. Everyone's saying, well, the offensive line is bad up front. To get the offensive line in the game, you have to run the ball. You have to go downhill at these guys. You have to dictate the tempo of the game. If you have guys backing up and you're dropping back 35, 40 times with Geno Smith, it's not going to work. And Chip, in his infinite wisdom, thinks that we cannot run the ball and still get play action to work. You were talking about it before. You have to threaten them a little bit with the run and get your play action going. We're running play action out of the shotgun. We're putting it in Geno's hands, and Geno is turning it over left and right. So I think Chip Kelly, his issue is he thinks he's smarter than everybody, and he's going to let you know that he's smarter than everybody. But in the NFL, there's a lot of smart guys, and there's a lot of great players. So this bullshit offense that he was running is not working.
No.
And Chip needs to look himself in the mirror and ask himself about the personnel decisions they've made, the offensive line that they've trotted out there.
Yep.
We have our right guard go down, a second-round pick, Jackson Powers-Johnson, and they're pulling him in and out of the lineup. He's our second-best offensive lineman next to Colton Miller. So a highly touted Oregon guy, right? Remington Award winner. This guy is the best center in the nation. He's a second-round pick. So let's put him at right guard and have him rotate with Alex Kappa, who is the worst pass-blocking guard in the NFL. Now, Jackson Powers goes down. What are we going to do? We're going to start 2 undrafted free agents, Will Putnam and Jordan Meredith, undersized guys, and we're not going to play our third-round picks. We have 2 third-round studs that we've had. So I'll wrap this up. I think there's a lot of funk around the Raiders organization right now, and those fingers need to be pointed at Chip Kelly. Because that defense is good enough for them to win.
Well,
no run game, play action out of shotgun, running reverses and all this stuff. It's a mess. It's a mess.
So what intrigues me is you played in Miami and Buffalo and obviously with the Rams, and yet your heart's with the Raiders.
It is.
You speak as if they're your home.
They are.
Right?
No, they really are, because I got there, Gruden talked me out of retirement to come play for the Raiders in 2019. I got there, and Gruden got there in 18. I got there in 19. They brought me in to influence the young offensive line. And they brought me in because I'm a big body up front. So we went Colton Miller, me, Rodney Hudson, Gabe Jackson, Trent Brown. That's a big-ass offensive line.
Ooh.
That is a big offensive line.
Because Trent Brown is like
Trent Brown's
huge.
massive. He's massive, right? You have Gabe 360, you have Rodney Hudson 320. I'm playing at 330. Colton Miller 6'7", 330. And I feel like that's home to me because I got there. Max Crosby was a rookie. Josh Jacobs was a rookie. We had some young players that are still there now. And I played there in Oakland. I played the last season in Oakland. I played 2 years in Las Vegas. Mr. Davis was gracious and kind enough to let me retire a Las Vegas Raider. And up until starting the show, I worked with the Raiders. I consulted, I went up, I did rookie programming, I've coached in training camp for them. So I'm very, very close to the program, and I'm very passionate about the program.
You are.
And I just don't like what I see. And I don't like what I see on offense. I think Patrick Graham and the defense can win. I just think that the offense isn't living up to the standard, and they're not changing anything. I don't see them turning around and handing Ashton Genty the ball 25 times.
No.
Yeah.
People, the O-line, the O-line, the O-line. John Madden has a great quote about the offensive line. If you want to get the big guys going up front, hand the ball off. Get them going downhill. As offensive linemen, I like getting downhill, getting aggressive, getting after these guys, getting into the rhythm of the game. With Chip Kelly in this offense, they hand it to Genty on just some base vanilla runs. They get stuffed, and okay, now it's Geno Smith time. And now we have
Genty only carried, was it 6 times for
6
7
times.
yards? For 7?
6 times.
Okay, and they'd swing it to him like 6 times, right?
Exactly, yeah. So we used the 6 overall pick. We didn't draft an offensive lineman.
No.
But now we're going to give the guy 6 touches, and we're going to throw the ball out of the backfield. I mean, it's a
Give him the ball anymore, you're gonna get your first round draft pick hurt with that offensive line.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
you can't.
right.
Can't risk
But
that.
he's a big physical thumper. His thing is he gets downhill and he'll bounce off a couple guys, right? And that's contagious. You know, those first runs when you're a run-heavy team, those first couple runs aren't going to hit. It's going to be 2 yards. It's going to be 3 yards. It's going to be 4 yards. But that's not what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the fourth quarter when guys are tired, you're subbing guys in and out, you're going up and down the field. Turn around and hand the ball to your guy. Play the right guys up front, hand the ball to your guy, and see what happens. Because they're playing like complete shit. They have zero identity, and you have Chip Kelly up there like, I'm the smartest man, I'm this, that, and the other, and it's just not vibing with the guys. He is rubbing the locker room the entire wrong way.
All right, well, Richie is calling out Chip Kelly, and all of the guys in the arena have the Browns this weekend, and the chat is riding with Shedeur and the Browns. 75% of the chat says that Shedeur will win this game, so little hope for the Browns because we haven't had this hope at all with Dylan Gabriel. But let's talk a little bit about your Cowboys.